All right. So hello, everyone. And of course, welcome to the AMA with Brewlabs. Now, it's going to be an absolutely awesome session today. We're talking about a professional team offering a suite of decentralized tools and services designed for practically everyone. And by everyone, I'm talking about products that are of use to not only newcomers in the space, but also professionals. So this is exactly what I love to see. So yeah, just putting an emphasis on how today is going to be an absolutely awesome session, as we did have a chance to discuss already. So as far as the products that Brewlabs have available for you, you're going to get all the information on, firstly, their marketplace, which is essentially used for OTC sales for both tokens as well as NFTs. And it's quite a customizable process tied to it if you are, let's say, listing the asset of your choice on their platform. So not only the listing price, but also additional information such as vesting, if we're, of course, talking about tokens, and the overview also showing you the market price and the listing price just for easier decision making here. So yeah, you're also going to get to use their swap, which is basically an aggregator just scanning for different trading places. So it ultimately fetches you the best possible price for swapping, of course, the currency of your choice. Now you have your staking pools. You even have Brewlabs NFTs here, which can be used to boost your earnings as far as staking goes. They even have a rarity system tied to it. But again, to not overly complicate everything in this intro, we're going to get into that information later on. So lastly, and I don't mean this being the last utility tied to Brewlabs, but kind of like the last thing that I wanted to mention for a quick overview in the short introduction. So I'm talking about your deployer, a simple tool to assist you in deployment of smart contracts. So mainly used for tokens, staking pools, and yield farming as well. So yeah, super excited for what Maverick will be sharing today. And of course, before we hand over the microphone to him, just wanted to drop a kind reminder for the pre-sale. And it is already live. So it just started as soon as we open up the voice chat here today. So at 3 p.m. UTC sharp, it's going to be going on for a little bit over 8 days. Well, a little bit under 9 days, if I am as exact here. So do make sure to check it out. You, of course, have the link to it on the AMA announcement. So the one that we just forwarded before we started off with the recording. And of course, currently being the last pin message as well, just to have things hassle-free here and some encouragement, even though that I think that I mentioned this a few hours ago, that we're going to try to keep it as community focused as possible for all your questions that you might have. We still usually can cover all of them, so do make sure to also join your Telegram just so the team can get you sorted ASAP after we're done with the AMA and, of course, before you contribute to the sale here. So, yeah, Maverick, thank you very much for bearing with me for a little bit of a longer introduction here. It is a pleasure to have you here. For starters, if you don't mind, just providing a little bit of background information about yourself, and then feel free to tie it together to the idea behind Brewlabs. So everything you have available with the products, because we both know it's a lot of things here, everything you're currently working on, maybe some updates for the future. So basically everything that you want the listeners to know today. So for now, handing over the microphone to you. Welcome, and the floor is all yours.
No worries. Thanks, mate. And welcome, everybody. And thanks for taking the time to catch up with me today and talk a bit of Brewlabs. So starting at the top, I suppose, just a very quick intro about who we are as a team. So there's 7 of us in the Brewlabs development team. We're based around the globe. We're a group of developers that build and maintain a range of apps. In fact, we've got 3 live apps at the moment. All the apps, all 3 of them, I should say, collect fees across multiple chains, and they all kind of feed into a large treasury wallet, which we distribute out to NFT stakers seasonally. As a team, we've been building together now for about, some of the core members at least, about 3 years. So we've worked through a range of different types of products to meet the market, and we've got to the point now where we've had a chance to expand recently, onboard some additional resources and developers to help us kind of expedite our roadmap, which has brought us up to the total amount of 7 developers in our team, which is super exciting. We've got plenty of resources to kind of build out everything we need and expand products at a very strong, quick rate, I should say. In terms of our products that we've got live at the moment, as Rainland's touched on, we've got quite a suite of tools, and would probably be spending a good part of 2 hours here or more if we were to go through all of them. So I might just kind of shortlist 2 products that we'd really like to highlight as part of what we're working towards in 2025. And, you know, if you were interested in joining the Brewlabs ecosystem as a token holder or an NFT holder, or even if you're just interested in using the tools, these we can talk about how these two products will benefit yourself if you're interested in, jumping on board with the brand. So to kind of deep dive into the two products, the marketplace, which Raina's touched on, is one of our core products that we're focusing on this year. The trading and transfer and swapping of tokens directly between two users. You bypass a liquidity pool by trading peer-to-peer any digital asset on chain. Currently across 8 networks, you can essentially add any, well, in the V2, I should say, which will be arriving around February, you'll be able to swap or list any particular digital asset out there. So any token out there that you've got in your wallet, if you've just bought it today and you want to sell it peer-to-peer, or if you're a team and you've just launched your token and you're looking to raise some additional capital after your pre-sale, then you can jump on the marketplace and you can vest tokens out to users at any over any period of time that you nominate, or you can instantly sell them to your users as well. It's a great tool to enable people to raise capital, and after their, well, at any point during their project, not necessarily just at the beginning. But liquidity pool and avoid some potentially large slippage impacts. You can also raise your listing on the marketplace. You can share your listings on social media, so you can get the word out about any particular sales that you've put up, and you can also looking through all the analytics, which will be arriving in February as well, about tracking of particular assets and sales. So you can find out what assets are performing well and what the marketplace has an appetite for, if there's potential buyers out there who are looking at specific types of tokens or purchases peer-to-peer. Now, it's important also to touch on what we're working towards in 2025 for the marketplace. Taking it from what I've just discussed, we're going to be expanding it out, opening up the assets that are available on the marketplace to trade. So everything currently that's available on the marketplace is all on-chain assets. The plan is to, around middle of the year, hopefully, we'll have traditional finance assets on the marketplace. So that means you'll be able to, and they'll be pegged assets, I should say. So you'll be able to purchase a pegged asset to, say, for example, NVIDIA or gold or MicroStrategy, and you'll be able to buy and sell them between peers on the marketplace. We're also going to bootstrap those particular tokens with some Brewlabs liquidity with the Brew token, so you'll be able to swap them in separate liquidity pools with Brew, but their main market will be on the marketplace itself. So if you're seeing MicroStrategy perform in the market at the moment, or if NVIDIA's going, having a wild time on the market, or even the S&P 500 or gold or any other commodity that you might be interested in, you'll be able to trade that peer-to-peer on the marketplace as well. So that's a really cool feature that we're going to be expanding the marketplace towards. And I would hopefully expect by around Q2, we'll have those features in place. Now, something also that we're hopefully planning for the remainder of non-developers out there, basically allows you to buy and sell assets between chains. So you don't necessarily have to have Ethereum on, say, Base to buy a sale that's on Arbitrum. You don't have to necessarily have, again, ETH on a mainnet Ethereum to buy something that might be on Optimism. So linking networks between the marketplace marketplace networks is a goal for us for the year of 2025, and fingers crossed we can get it by the end of the year as well. That's really going to open up the marketplace in terms of audience and user experience. It'll enable people to be able to simply swap between networks and purchase deals or NFTs or token sales, or maybe some form of commodity instantly from, say, Ethereum to Arbitrum. So very, very cool technology to introduce into the marketplace. There's a range of other improvements that we want to add to marketplace as well, which include different types of sales. We're going to be introducing bundles, so you can kind of bundle together a bunch of tokens and maybe add an NFT in there and then list that for a sale, and someone might come along and purchase that. So there are lots of little cool smaller features that we'll be adding in, but marketplace itself is probably one of the most versatile products that we've built to date. and is going to be one of our core focuses for 2025. So expect to see a lot of focus on that marketing and also development support over the remainder of the 2025 year. The other core product that we're focusing on is the indexes. You'll see probably a little bit more about indexes in the short term than marketplace from us, and that's because we're very close to shipping out our indexes v2. Indexes v2 essentially they are a significant upgrade for indexes v1. And for people who aren't familiar with what indexes are, essentially it allows you as a user to jump onto the platform and create your own index or basket of tokens. An index in traditional finance terms, very similar to, say, for example, the S&P 500 or other Vanguard ETFs, those large kind of big baskets of shares that you may see on the traditional markets. We've taken that same concept and added it on chain. The cool thing about it is anyone can make an index. You can make an index of up to 5 tokens. Say, for example, on BNB, you might select BTCB, so wrapped Bitcoin. You might select wrapped BNB, Solana, Litecoin, and maybe XRP. You can have those 5 tokens as your index. You can deploy it for free completely. And then you can share that index with your friends, co-workers, family, whoever you wish. You can earn a small fee every time someone joins your index. And you can also earn a fee when they exit the index in profit. When you create your index, so when you select your 5 tokens, you also determine your fee rates. You can set any fee up to 5%. Generally, smaller fees are better. And then every time people are coming in and out of that index, hopefully in profit, you're earning some fee. You're earning off that as well. So if you have a good pick or a good eye for performing tokens, indexes are a great product for traders. In the advent of indexes v2, which is hopefully, as I mentioned, we believe will probably be available in February. We are taking a major step towards automation, and that's the Zealy secret word for everyone out there who's participating in that. But for the automation side of indexes in V2, you'll be able to set take profit levels or limit orders, just like you do in a normal exchange. You essentially will be able to join any index, set your profit target. So if you're, for example, got $100 and your profit target is 15%, once the index hits that 15% profit goal, the index will automatically liquidate your position and send you the profits directly to your wallet. So you don't even need to return to the platform to collect your profits. You can just jump into your wallet and your funds have arrived. A super cool feature for automation, and it's kind of a set and forget kind of approach that we've built into the product to allow users to kind of really take advantage of the index by essentially just setting up their trade and just letting it perform in its own manner. The cool thing about indexes, as I might add, is because you're speculating in a basket of tokens, you dilute your risk. Of course, there's great opportunity if you're concentrating on one particular token, but that token or project may have a bad day and others may perform. So you can actually have a higher chance of profitability over longer term by using an index and taking these automated trades when you can and setting, achievable targets, like say, for example, 10, 15, 20%. For example, one of our indexes just in the last 7 days achieved a 10% gain. And over the last 30 days, I think it was about 20 to 30%. So, and that was a Solana-based index, had Solana and a few other tokens in it. But you could trade that index frequently and make some good gains out of the performance of that basket of tokens. So it's a really cool product that we're introducing. On our Rivalon base, we've also introduced 10 token indexes. So an increase from 5. Polygon and BNB will still have 5 token indexes, which will also roll out to our other supported networks, maximum of 5 token indexes on those supported networks like Phantom, Avalanche, etc. Some others that we support on the platform. But for base specifically, we'll have 10 token indexes, which is super cool because we can add in, say, for example, make a meme index that has base 10 top memes. We could make, base lending baskets that could have Morpho and Well and or maybe a DeFi basket, including Aerodrome, etc. So we could make a very large basket with 10 tokens and speculate provide automation and trading with those particular baskets on base. Our base KOLs as well, we're going to give them an opportunity to create 10 token indexes so they can have their indexes, which they can circulate with their community as a group and speculate on the application for the indexes page itself. And also, I believe we'll probably think about giving general users the opportunity to deploy 10 token indexes, but at the very beginning, it'll just be the team, so Brewlabs and KOLs who will have access to the 10 token indexes. I'd say maybe around April, May, we'll give that 10 token index deployment to the base users as well. So some really cool features coming very soon to the DApp. Through the base, through the indexes, but also through the marketplace. These two products as well have a bit of a synergized roadmap for the rest of 2025. Towards the end of the year, we're hopefully going to be able to get those pegged assets that we spoke about in the marketplace into indexes. So you will be able to link on-chain assets with traditional assets in indexes, allowing users to kind of speculate in both sectors, I suppose, on-chain and traditional finance. And then also we'll add in some form of fiat on-ramp as well. So there's some super cool kind of options there, which we can explore towards the end of the year, but a good roadmap for both marketplace and indexes ahead, and an idea to synergize them and join them towards the end of the year.
Perfect.
Quite a bit to cover there.
Oh, yeah. So, sorry, Mel. I was just kind of waiting if there's anything else you wanted to say here. But yeah, the future definitely looks promising. I'm looking forward to the updates on both the marketplace and the indexes. And throughout, I'm just going to try to focus this step by step. So firstly, the marketplace that you touched upon as far as the updates go and whatnot. So I currently have it open, the beta version, which I assume is V1 currently. And just this is my personal curiosity, basically. With the launch of V2, is the UI going to be the same, similar? Because currently, here's why I even want to ask you this. I did have a chance to look for it, so I didn't create anything, just kind of scout for everything that you guys have available at your disposal here. And it just brought me to the question, because it's looking clean. You know, everything is phenomenal. You can sort it out by networks. You can see the variance, which is even clearer if you are to compare the market price and listing price. So again, already a fan of this. And I think that the only thing that I'd personally like to see is, considering you guys are planning on implementing even more sale types, if I did understand you correctly during your presentation, maybe to have a filter for the types as well. If you, I don't know, mainly want to do NFTs, maybe only tokens. That's probably the only thing. But as far as the UI goes, it looks extremely clean in my opinion. So I'm kind of just wondering how it's going to come.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got filters actually. If you hit Shift T, it'll filter it for you for tokens, and Shift N will be for NFTs. But you have raised a good point. We actually do have plans to revisit the marketplace and make some smaller UI improvements. As you know, as a development team yourself, you guys always know that iterations are occurring all the time, new ideas. So improvements on the UI for V2 are certainly something that we're going to be exploring. We definitely want to put in some better, just improve the sorting, as you say, and the user experience around searching and finding particular assets. We envision the marketplace to hold like quite a significant amount of data. So I think what essentially will happen is, we'll really need to flesh out the appearance, or not the appearance, but I should say like the filters and the features that allow users to find data fast.
Everything that I wanted to hear, basically. So Maverick, thank you very much. And in addition to this, as we're already talking about the marketplace, just kind of going through everything that you said and everything that I have opened here, it just brings me to the question, once you, let's say, compare the market price and the listing price. So for example, this is a good case that I didn't have a chance to actually create a listing myself, because I can then ask you more questions regarding it, right? So let's say that I'd be interested in, let's say, specifically the token, right? And throughout me creating the listing for the token, let's say a token token on Base. I think it makes the most sense since you guys are also launching on Base. So let's just take Base as an example. And let's say that I want to list an OTC sale for the token on Base here. And then I'm kind of deciding on the listing price that I want to set here, correlated to, of course, the market price. And it just brings me to the question, as I'm setting this up, do you have any barriers as far as the listing price? Yeah, sorry, Maverick.
Sorry, I think that my connection just carked there for a moment. I think you're asking if there was any barriers towards, any barriers into any caveats to putting listings up. Was that the question?
Well, the barriers as far as specifically the listing prices go, because again, I would personally, if I am listing a token for OTC sales, right, I would probably offer it at a hefty discount just so I can actually get a seller fast. But, that might not be the case for anyone. So I'm just wondering if there's any barriers that you have to be kind of similar to the market price, or can you do whatever you'd like, even have it higher as the market price, for example?
Okay, yep. You can set it at, you can nominate your own price. So, for example, like if you had, and this it can also be used kind of like a limit order, I suppose, as well in the marketplace. You can, if you were to buy, say for example, Ethereum, and it's 3,000, whatever it is now, 3,300 or 3,400. You could set the price at 4,000, and you could just wait for price to hit that level. And of course, you could at any point in time just go and sell it into the liquidity pool. But if you're asleep or you haven't got access to limit orders or anything like that, you can just throw it up peer to peer, and someone would potentially purchase it once the variance becomes positive.
Perfect. Okay. Amazing. And just one more add-on here for the marketplace specifically before we move on to other products, because, yeah, like you did mention in your presentation, there's a lot to cover. So I'm going to try to keep it as short and simple as well, just so we can cover as many community questions as possible as well. So with, let's say, the marketplace and the entire listing process that we already kind of covered here, I'm just curious to know what would happen in the instance. Just going to provide you an example here. I think it makes the most sense. In the instance of, let's say, I once again would like to sell my token on Base at a discounted price here. And let's say as I'm creating the listing and in 4 or 5 days, let's say that I don't have a potential buyer here. And throughout that, the price of the token that I'm selling at a hefty discount skyrockets. So what will happen in this case? If I don't get a buyer, could I just edit the listing price here, or would I have to release? So cancel and relist the token that I'm selling currently.
Yeah. You would have to cancel and relist. That's right. We'll probably introduce like editing sales further down the track in later versions as we add more different sale types and some maybe sale editing features. But in the current version, it is a fixed sale price. So if you do want to change it, you have to pull the listing down and then raise it again. An interesting sale type that while we're talking about this, I might just touch on is something that we're working on is a trailing sale. So instead of having a fixed price, your sale price you can set at a certain percentage below the market price. Now, this might not be appealing for like general traders or general users out there, but for teams, this is super, super cool because if you want to raise some capital and you want to give a bit of a discount to your holders out there, you could potentially set a trailing sale where your sale, which is generally going to be a larger sum of money because you're selling tokens peer-to-peer, team tokens or reserve tokens or something like that. You could nominate your trail at say 10%. So whatever your market price is for your token, the trailing sale will always sit 10% below that market price. So if you have a good day and your token price increases by 20%, then the sale will automatically follow that price increase. It won't stay at a fixed rate, giving a greater bonus or greater discount to your buyers. It will always stay at your nominated trailing price. So some bit of a kind of sneak peek there on some of the types of sales that we're working on at the moment. But that type of people looking to raise capital.
No, I think that's definitely an amazing add-on here, and it seems like something you guys already planned to perfection, which is, again, definitely something that I like to see. So thank you very much, Maverick. And lastly, I figured we also talk about specifically because, with all the products that you have on the platform, let's just talk about a little bit more regarding the platform fees, but specifically for the marketplace currently. I'm not sure if this is going to be tweaked in V2, but let's just talk about the current beta version that you guys have available here. So one thing that I know just from the research that I did before we jumped on the AMA here today is I believe that it's the 0.3% fees on sales here. But just again, I'm just kind of wondering with you listing either NFTs, either tokens on the marketplace for OTC sales, if you also take a sort of listing fees before you even take the fees on sales, or if it's just 0.3% sales that are then, I think it gets funded towards the treasury wallet, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So there is to raise a listing, it's around $2 in gas on each network, and the platform fee, so the 0.3%, only is only deducted when a sale takes place. So you don't lose any of your capital that you're putting up onto the marketplace immediately. It only executes when a successful sale takes place. So you don't need to worry about losing out anything, any funds or anything like that at that point.
And I think that the 0.3% is not even high to begin with. So that's awesome. Thank you very much, Maverick. And for
very,
us,
very affordable.
yeah, exactly what I was thinking as well. So yeah, perfect. Appreciate the feedback here, and also we can also talk about the treasury a little bit here, since I assume this is not going to be the only, let's say, revenue stream on all the products, of course, associated that you can find on your platform. So I would assume, again, just assume, speculating here, that you're also going to get some more revenue streams tied to other products that you have available that would then fund the treasury wallet. So it just kind of got me thinking, because I am not sure, with me going through the documents, the Gitbook, everything that you guys have available, that I saw any sort of governance aspect. So it just got me thinking with the treasury and how you would then use the treasury to perhaps, I don't know, incentivize holders, let's say, because I know you guys have quite a lot of things to incentivize them anyway. It just got me thinking if you're also planning on incorporating a governance model here, just so potentially in the near future, the holders that would meet the minimum threshold would then, let's say, take part in the decision-making process, perhaps vote on where they would like the funds that are in the treasury to be used for, right?
Yeah, it's a good question about treasury management. We don't have any governance plans ahead, or any plans to kind of introduce any type of governance. We've got a pretty straightforward fee model, and for those out there who are interested, we have 9 fee-earning products. And within those 9 products, there's all different types of transactions that have fees involved as well. And our 9 products are situated across 8 core networks. So we're kind of gathering fees from all different types of networks simultaneously, with people using all different types of products. All of those fees are gathered into one, what we call treasury wallet, which you can access at any point in time and check the balance of by following the insights link on the DApp, or just directly from our white paper. Once the fees arrive in treasury, they're distributed. 35% goes to the team, 50% goes to what we call seasonal positions. Seasonal position distributed out to our NFT stakers each season. Now, a season is 9 months, and what it distributes is the last 12 months of platform, 50% of the last 12 months of platform fees. So what we do is basically save all of our fees for the entire year, and then we distribute them the following year. So we're essentially distributing fees in arrears each season. So if you're staking this season with an NFT, you're earning the previous year's fees. The remaining 15% of the fees that we earn on the platform are converted into yield farming positions, rebasing positions, staking, some form of earning position that will generate some passive income. We use that passive income, again, to deflate the NFT supply initially, and then we're going to use it to deflate. We'll use it for buyback and burns for the Brew token. The last season of fees that we've generated since March 2024, we've got around about $520,000 worth of Bitcoin or mixed assets, I should say. Let me get that exact value for you. It is just jumping onto the DApp myself.
Take your time, no rush.
I think it's around about, here it is. $504,000 US, and close to 400,000 of that is Bitcoin. So, and the remaining is a mixture of Ethereum. About that much. Well, we generated probably less than that, but because we purchased Bitcoin and we convert all of our fees into wrapped Bitcoin, we get to appreciate the uplift of Bitcoin in the market. So that's super cool. And then when we return it back to our holders, we distribute it in Bitcoin like BTC. So the wrapped version of Bitcoin on base is what our NFT stakers will be earning. So yeah, pretty big pile of cash there that's going to be available for everyone to stake an NFT. Now, it's important just to touch on the NFTs as well. We have the 5 tiers of rarity for NFTs. Only rare, epic, and legendary can stake in this particular pool to earn Bitcoin. So each time, if you attempt to mint an NFT, it's a chance-based mint. If you want to buy an NFT that you can stake, generally you can find them on the marketplace. Other users sometimes are selling them. Or you can mint, and hopefully you can get a stakeable NFT. If you mint an uncommon or a common, you can combine uncommon and common NFTs to create a rare NFT to be able to stake. So that is a pathway to get to staking. But hopefully, if you're lucky enough, you can get a rare, epic, or a legendary even on your minting. So with NFTs as well, if you're not going to stake them in the Bitcoin pool, you can also stake them in the Brew pool and earn Brew tokens, or you can also stake them alongside your Brew tokens and your LP tokens to get boosts in our upcoming staking pools as well. So there's lots of cool features for NFTs. They're not just utilized for staking, they're also used for boosts in other pools as well. So that will help us kind of distribute NFTs between multiple pools, not necessarily all focused in Bitcoins. So definitely 8 digits for our Bitcoin pool anyway. But, if you're interested in earning more Brew, or you want to boost your staking pool or your yield farming rewards, you can use your NFT alongside whatever you deposit into your yield farm or your token staking pools to increase your weight in that pool.
Now that is, first and foremost, thank you very much for the transparency and a full rundown on everything. I think this is as encouraging as it gets, and it definitely shows that everything you guys are doing, all of the products, even the NFTs that you're incorporating in your ecosystem, it goes to show that you're all about the community and just giving back. And that is definitely a great way to reward holders here. So Maverick, thank you. And before we dive into those community questions, just 2 more questions. And one thing that I wasn't even wondering before, but considering you already were talking about NFTs a little bit, and considering it's a little bit of, let's say, RNG based, you can get a chance to mint. I believe that the legendaries of highest rarity here. I'm just kind of curious to know how many legendaries are there. Is it one? Is it multiple ones?
It's actually, because it's chance based, there's like, there could be more, but I think there's probably around about 10 or 12 out of the total 1,500 NFTs so far that have been minted. In the first collection, there is 5,000 NFTs in total. So there's still plenty of NFTs out there that you can mint. And every time you do mint, I also should add that you are required to pay $100 USDC and 100 Brew. The USDC goes into the fee or the treasury system. So you do that kind of comes back a little bit. And then the Brew that gets used, so if you want to mint an NFT, you have to pay Brew as well, that gets burnt. So that's a deflationary aspect of our token. So to answer your question though, for legendaries, I don't know exactly how many there are, but I know the chance to mint one is 0.3%. So it's very, very low. But the weight is a 20% multiplier. So if you are using your legendary in your brew staking pool, or for example, let's use another token, for example, just say you're supplying liquidity in a ETH USDC pool, for example, with our upcoming router or DEX, you can stake your LP tokens and just say you've got 100 of them, and you stake your legendary NFT alongside those 100 LP tokens. The pool will actually calculate your staked amount as 120 tokens. So you're getting an extra 20% uplift on your earnings. That type of logic just for the pairs, but for other client pairs as well, or other team pairs. And then also for brew token staking, just standard token staking. So the NFT boost is super, super lucrative, particularly if you're lucky enough to get a rare one or above.
Awesome. That is definitely awesome. Thank you very much, Maverick, for additional info here. And lastly, before we open up the floor to the community's questions, as we did have a chance to mention before, this is going to be me putting you on the spot, essentially, right? So I was just kind of curious to know if you can share information like this all as well. But considering that you guys are going with Base now, I could only assume with all the products, everything that you have at your disposal here, you're going to do something specifically to, let's say, make noise on Base, right? And if this is info that you can share, you probably have something planned for this, I assume, just so, again, you could be, let's say, you could be great on Base, people will get to know you a little bit better here. And it brings me to the question, are there any incentives here for maybe, I don't know, staking pools on Base, maybe other things that are associated? Specifically, like this, I completely understand, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a bit of lag on my end, I think. Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities to earn for Base. So, if you're into token staking, you'll have those opportunities for earning Brewlabs. And you'll also be able to earn through, yield farming, as I touched on before, the NFT staking pools. So there's plenty of opportunity there if you're looking for some form of, DeFi related or passive income or feed earning opportunities. You will have those advantages on Base. For our product development, we do have a specific Base roadmap to really make some noise over there. We're talking with Jesse very frequently. He's already across our roadmap for indexes, and we're hoping that he'll jump on and create a KOL index. That would be super cool. But yeah, we've got some pretty interesting ideas on how to really make some noise over on that network. I don't really want to spill the beans too much, but I'll probably go as far as I touched on before how we were going to be synergizing the marketplace and the token indexes. So people will be able to kind of create indexes, mixing both of those assets, on-chain and off-chain assets. The next kind of natural progression that we're hoping to achieve after we've made that connection is, as I mentioned, the fiat introduction. So allowing people to use, Apple Pay or cards or whatever they want to use to convert their fiat money into indexes, directly from using credit card purchases or whatever they want to use. The natural progression after that is for us to see something that people can have in the palm of their hand. So an app. So that would be something that we would specifically design first for Base and our Base indexes. And this would be something that we'd be looking at towards 2026. But if there's a social aspect of indexes that we really like and some strong synergies with marketplace. So, if there's an application that in the palm of your hand where you can use fiat to join indexes that are on-chain with mixed assets between real-world and on-chain assets, you could create your own index, share it with your friends, family. It will really kind of open up the door to onboarding new users on-chain. And that's a really big, I'm pretty sure everyone would agree if they've followed anything to do with Base, that their whole I suppose, mission statement is to onboard the next billion users. So social aspects and phone applications are certainly something that we're looking at with these two products. There's a unique offering there that we hope to bring to the space to help not only onboard users, but also allow people to, engage in the social aspect of cryptocurrency by sharing indexes and creating them. And, if you've got someone out there who doesn't necessarily know much about crypto, but is interested in the industry, you could create a standard blue chip index for them and then send it to their phone, and, they could be in it within a second or a minute. Super quick through a phone app. And then they're in the industry. They're learning. Maybe they're buying into an index that has like BTC, Ethereum, Solana. I mean, that's pretty standard blue chip. And that should perform pretty well. And that could be a great opportunity for people to get into the industry by using a phone app. So yeah, some pretty cool concepts for us to kind of move in towards the end of the year. But of course, there's still a pretty heavy development roadmap between now and then, and there's still plenty to work with and be excited about from now and until we get to that point. But we're indexes V2 is a huge milestone for us, a strong future alongside Marketplace, which is our second flagship product. So that's super cool.
Perfect. Now, yeah, I wasn't planning on you to spill the beans here, but yeah, I still decided to ask you the question here. So thank you very much for being as detailed as possible, Maverick. And of course, we're going to keep it moving to those community questions. Appreciate the debate as well, Maverick. So the first one is going to be on the hot seat. You guys know how this goes. So Benova, you're going to be the first participant here. So better make your questions count. Better make the great ones. Floor is all yours. Hopefully you're enjoying your day so far. Let's hear what you have to ask.
Yeah.
I think we lost you there, just so you know.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, welcome. Loud and clear.
Thank you.
And now we can't hear you anymore, so we're going to get back to you a little bit later. All right, so I guess we're going to do another hot seat. Saint, you're going to be the first participant, so you are on the hot seat. Better make your questions count, better make the great ones. Hope you're having an awesome day so far, and welcome. Hit us with the questions.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Welcome.
After a long time, like I've been off the industry, man. Today I saw Brewlabs doing the AMA, so I thought that like I would come and ask a question because I also used to run a small agency in the space by the name of Set It Up. I see that like since I last checked you out for competition purposes. The new things are indexes, and of course a lot has changed in a year. You mentioned about the resilience that your team has in sustaining 4 years and. I have checked you guys out in 2022, 2023, 2024, and now it's 2025. So basically, my question is more open-ended, but I would love to ask you what difference did you see in these 3-4 years, and how did your team manage to push forward despite so many changes, bear bull markets in crypto? Yeah.
That's a great question. And thanks to circling back. When we first started, coming up 4 years ago, it was right at the end of the last bull market. So yeah, it was pretty tough, building through the bear market. A lot of a lot of challenges because a lot of people leave the industry from a development side. So finding good team members and talent is very difficult. So we did have some members rotate out, over that period. It's only just kind of recently in the last, maybe last 12 months or thereabouts, we've really had a good opportunity to ramp up our development. And that's mostly due to having arrival of some of our founders that we started with actually coming on full time for Brewlabs. So Garlic, who is a very talented developer, responsible for basically the UI and what you see on the front end, came onto Brewlabs full time, and he's been rebuilding essentially some of the old legacy code, which very soon, in fact, probably tomorrow or maybe Friday, that we're pushing out a completely new UI for all of the earning directory and platform and indexes in particular. It's huge updates, very, very jam-packed with lots of cool features. So if you do get a chance, I would recommend jumping back and checking that. But it's always a challenge when it comes to, building through difficult times. We're pretty close-knit team, particularly the original group. So, we're still all here, and it probably helps that we all know each other in the real world. And, we've been lucky enough to attract good talent recently. So, it's given us the ability to kind of really expedite development because we've got some good builders in the team now. And, we've restructured a lot of the back end QA, and then also just internally, like what our expectations are. So I'd definitely say that from a team perspective, it's definitely the strongest team we've had since we started. So, in terms of opportunity ahead, like there's no real constraints for us in terms of development that we can see. So we're kind of like sky's the limit for development at the moment, which is really, really cool. So, I mean, it can be tough in the market sometimes, but talent seems to return, and we're just leveraging that now.
Okay. How would you define the space, like how it has changed from like 2022 to say 2024 when the bull run came, and now with like Trump endorsing cryptocurrency out in the open?
The narrative's completely changed. If you roll back 2 years ago, it was pretty doom and gloom. And most people gave up. Like, we were building for a lot of clients that didn't make it, whether it was just too difficult for them from a team perspective, or they ran out of resources, and it was very, very tough. But with the change in the market sentiment, obviously everyone is positive now. It didn't really help that the US, which is obviously the most vocal cryptocurrency market out there, did not have a pro-industry government for the past 4 years. But obviously with the arrival of Trump and his policies related to crypto that seem to be way more positive and promoting the open market, I feel like the sky again is the limit now in terms of where the market can go. It's that being said, it is crypto. It is super speculative. Things can change tomorrow. So, hopefully the good news keeps coming, and everyone out there can start to engage with the industry a little bit more than they used to. People who potentially weren't in the industry, and people who were potentially burnt from the last bear market may return. So I think there's a lot of opportunity now, and I think it's a good time to be building and to be active in the industry. And if you've got ideas to bring on chain, now's the time to do it, because it's been so much more difficult any time before now. So it makes sense to kind of take action.
Okay, that was satisfactory. Thank you again, Mav, and Reinlands. Thank you as always.
Thank you for the question.
You're welcome.
All right, and we're going to keep it moving to Archie Adam. Welcome to the AMA. Hopefully you're having an awesome day so far as well, and the floor is all yours.
Yeah. Hey,
Leland, how's it going, brother?
Hey, fantastic. How about on your end?
Good,
Yeah,
good.
everything's nice. Yeah, I've been listening to the AMA quite sometimes, and you normally do very well in this space, and it's quite a nice presentation you guys have on this space section today. I'll commend you guys for that. Yeah, a few questions on my end. Yeah, I would like to ask. You guys mentioned a lot about this project, and in terms of community engagement, you didn't talk about stuff like that because community is the backbone of each project. Yeah. So in terms of community engagement, what plan do you guys have for this community? Because I've seen most projects, they've come up with something like weekly base section on their community, giving the chance for community to have any suggestion they have to give to the community, because these people sometimes may be quite a little busy with stuff things, and at times community might have some suggestion to give. So in terms of community engagement, what plan do you guys have to bring the community
Yeah, it's a good question. And you're exactly right. Community is goes hand in hand
together?
with development. You can't have a great product if no one's using it. And for us, we've been focusing on development for the past 3 years. So for us, we've kind of got to the point now where we're beginning to focus on DAU and expanding the brand, and also onboarding new users, evolving the community. So for us, we've got a few kind of offerings that we're working towards. Firstly, products will allow earning opportunities for people out there who are in the community. Once people begin to earn fees from the platform, it generally will incentivize them to start talking about it through organic conversation and marketing through social media. So to kind of leverage off that, we've recently opened up a Zealy campaign, which will help people, if they're out there talking about earnings on the products, or they're taking screenshots about APRs, or they've got great returns on a particular yield farm, and they've got an NFT boosted in there, they can jump on the Zealy and align whatever they're posting with that Zealy campaign. And from the Zealy, people can earn rewards. We're kind of working through what we're going to be giving people in terms of rewards on Zealy. There's a few ideas out there. We've got some cool features that we can unlock for certain users on the platform that may place or win particular Zealy campaigns or sprints. We've got access to trading bots on Telegram, which we use in-house, that we haven't actually given access to anyone previously. We've got obviously NFTs that we can give away. We've got brew tokens we can give away. Alongside our Zealy campaigns, we're also engaging with marketing agencies. So at the moment, we're in discussions with 4 agencies, and we're kind of tossing and turning who we're going to be going with. We've got some follow-up meetings happening tomorrow and Friday, and then also some proposals coming in early next week. We're hoping that we'd be able to sign someone by Friday this week, but we've had some delays on that. So we'll get some information about some strategies and potentially some CMO, remote CMO work from some of these agencies by Monday, and we'll be able to settle on potentially a partner, which we'll then announce obviously to the community. Whatever agency we go with, of course, they'll be managing community expectations, pushing out all different types of marketing through KOLs and various other channels. Another focus that we're looking on at the moment is today we spoke to a group that focused solely on Twitter growth and Twitter engagement on crypto Twitter. So posting a lot of threads about our products, I think people will find beneficial. We've got so many products on offer, yet it's difficult to sometimes market them because there's too many of them. So for us, we're going to be taking more of an educational approach by putting out educational pieces per product from specific KOLs that are responsible for specific products. So we've got a bit of a strategy there to get the word out about Brewlabs. And most people who come to the platform and start to engage with what we've got on offer, or look to earn through many of the opportunities on chain, continual updates. We're always improving the platform. People can see a good track record of development. So it's great for the user base and the community to see that we're still here building. We're actually expanding. We've created fee revenue models that obviously come back to the community, which is super cool. So there's lots of kind of incentives there to grow the community from a product perspective, but also we're bringing on some professionals to help us kind of expand a bit further, whilst also leveraging some existing tools out there like Zealy. We might even utilize another platform called Task On. So yeah, there's some options out there for us for community engagement, but it's certainly something that's front of mind. We're really hoping that once Index's V2 come out, we should see some strong adoption for that with the arrival of the automation features into that product. That's a really cool feature that, again, just to touch on it, obviously it's a bit of a set and forget feature for that product. You don't have to manage it whatsoever. So yeah, some cool kind of approaches there for community expansion. But yeah, answer your question, we've got lots of things kind of in conversation at the moment.
Quite really impressive. You said well, you answered the question correctly. One last question from my end here. I'm not sure you talked about partnership you guys have created for this project. One in project like this, they have to be some background of partnership. You guys have to like just to collaborate with. So in terms of partnership, which partnership have you guys like collaborate with in time past, and how are you guys building to collaborate more with others?
Yep. Good question. Yes, so in terms of partners that we work with, so in terms of development partners, we're collaborating, utilizing framework and infrastructure from some of the biggest protocols in the space, ranging from Chainlink, CoinGecko, DexGuru, Moralis. So plenty of infrastructure in terms of partnership infrastructure for development purposes. For liquidity and I suppose like market making, we've got a partner on board for that as well, who will probably, you'll see a little bit more communication about them once we've opened up additional liquidity pools on Aerodrome. So that group is called Flowdesk, and they're a very large and licensed market making firm in Europe. In terms of, I suppose, on-chain partners with just like other groups or other teams, we haven't really kind of focused on partnerships with any other protocols or teams yet, because we haven't really had too much to offer them. However, with our move to Base and with the arrival of some of our products that we can integrate other protocols into quite easily, we'll start opening up the door to other groups, other teams who may want to collaborate on creating indexes, or they may want to open up liquidity, which we can incentivize with the Brewlabs token. They may want to engage on the marketplace to raise capital for their project. There's lots of opportunities there for us to start collaborating with other teams who are in this space. I'm just trying to think else. KOLs and social partners. Again, that kind of ties, I suppose, back into the community question, which we touched on before, and what we've got aligned for that. I don't know if there's any other partners. Like, we don't have any VC or anything like that. We're fully diluted in terms of our tokens, so there's no overhanging kind of unlocks or anything like that people need to be concerned about. We're pretty, I'm pretty sure that covers off all of our partners, given that, we're mostly kind of development focused. Most of our partners are people or teams that provide infrastructure. Does that help answer your question?
Nice. You said well, you answered the question correctly. I appreciate the fact that you know what you're talking about and you're confident in what you're talking about. That is a kind of brief. That is a nice one. Yeah, thank you, Roland, for the opportunity. I get two more questions about asking the community, which is successful projects. Yeah, thank you, Roland.
Perfect, Adam. Thank you very much. And we're going to keep moving to
Thanks,
the
Adam.
last question. Sorry, Maverick, for cutting you off. All right, we're going to keep it moving to the last community question. So, Sam, you're going to be on the last hot seat. You know how this goes. Better make your questions count. Better make them great ones. So, hopefully you're having an awesome day so far. And the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Yes, certainly. I'm having an awesome day. And what a start to 2025 with some amazing projects at GemPad. Amazing. So let me proceed with my question. So as I can read in the website that Brewlabs team has not announced the contract, like the contract is not re-announced. So I just want to know the reason, like what is the reason behind having control over the contract? Because just to control the buy-sell tax, or just to restrict the sellers from selling the tokens at a later stage when the project performs well. So I just want to know, like, because
yes,
as an investor,
in terms of renouncing contracts, it's pretty common for teams to do that, and very common for meme projects and things like that to do that. Given that we're a utility. Token contract. And there's a few reasons for that. Firstly, our contract is emissions based, so the contract does mint brew, which is then used to incentivize certain pools, and also will be used to incentivize pairs on our router. So we need to manage the rate that the emissions are emitting, I should say. So that means like how much brew token is being minted per block. So we want to just make sure we've got control over that. Secondly, there's also exclusions on fee addresses as well. So if we needed to exclude particular contracts from paying fees, for example, if we're on our minting contract for NFTs, we have a feature on that, which is like a Zap feature. So people can just kind of mint up to 10 NFTs with Ethereum, which will automatically buy USDC and automatically buy. It needs to be excluded from fees so the zapping feature works properly. So users who are using the Zap feature won't pay any token taxes on a Uniswap V2 pool. In terms of token fees, we've only got token fees on one pool. The plan is for us to have 3 liquidity sources on chain. So only one pool will have token taxes. Our Aerodrome pool and our Uniswap V3 pools won't have any token taxes. So you can buy and sell in those particular pools without any token tax concerns. The token tax is in place to provide arbitrage opportunities between the 3 pools of liquidity. So if users want to find some arbitrage opportunities there, they can do so and leverage off that token tax there that might provide more opportunities than if there was no tax in place. So there are reasons, like legitimate reasons, why we need to maintain custody of our token contract. If we do whitelisting particular contracts, we also lose control over the emission rates. So it's very important for us to retain that. You can put us in the same basket as, larger DeFi protocols. If you think about like PancakeSwap or Aerodrome or Uniswap, they maintain custody over their important contracts that are responsible for their ecosystem. So it's important for us to do that as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. And I hope the buy-sell tax will be controlled in the right perspective so that investors don't face any issues at a certain stage. Okay. So one more question I have
we've
for
got
you.
no plans to do anything with that. That's just going to stay as is.
Okay. I have a question as mentioned about in tokenomics, like the supply is fixed or the token is mintable at a certain stage, or the supply is fixed?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So as I touched on before, we have token emissions. Circulating supply that's been deployed on chain at the moment is 19 amount as Bitcoin.
Great. Good luck.
Sorry? Oh, sorry, I thought you had a question there. So essentially what will happen is once we've activated trading after the pre-sale finishes, launch is probably going to be around the 2nd of February, I believe. Once we launch our token, the emissions will begin, and they mint a certain amount of Brewlabs per block per day. That will run for a 4-year period, and then the total supply ceiling will be met, which is 21 million. So we'll be minting a very small portion of total supply over the next 4 years, and that is to, as I mentioned, fund incentives for liquidity, token staking, NFT staking, other ventures. For example, opening up liquidity pools on other platforms. Maybe even lending. There's lots of reasons why we need emissions, but the majority of them actually go into the incentivized pools, which users will then be able to earn from providing liquidity or staking NFTs or tokens.
Okay, thank you so much, and appreciate the concept and the utility-based project you have produced, and the revenue model looks very strong. And good luck for the future, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you very much, Sam. And with that being said, this is where we're going to end off today's AMA. But before, you can find the link to it on the AMA announcement here, and got disconnected for 2 seconds. Once again, I swear the Telegram this week has been absolutely buggy. But yeah, regardless of that, you have the sale link on the AMA announcement, the last pinned message currently. And for any additional questions, once again, dropping a count reminder for you to join your Telegram just so the team can get you sorted ASAP. And yeah, Maverick, just wanted to say thank you very much for the amazing session today. You have been wonderful. And of course, to our community, thank you very much for tuning in. I do hope that every one of you has an awesome rest of the day, and we're going to catch you on the next one.
Thanks, mate. And thanks everyone for joining us today.
All right. Cheers, guys. Have a good one. We're going to catch you on the next one. Enjoy.